If you want to cruise serenely through automotive videos, you can join me here in this Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz on the Audrain Museum Network, but only if you're a subscriber. Hit the button now. Join us. There is nothing that can prepare you for the sheer presence of this car. Watching this video gives you some idea, but you have to stand next to it to understand what this car feels like and the effect that it must have had on every road in America and Europe, wherever you saw a car like this. It's in all of the details, the Biarritz script, those wonderful emblems on the top of the fenders, that very subdued rear tail fin, which of course by 1959 would become cartoonish in comparison. This is a truly elegant mid-50s American car. In 2025, some of the least expensive cars in the market basically do what some of the most expensive cars in the market do. They get you from point A to point B in relative comfort with a decent turn of speed, and with all the conveniences you can think of. Satellite navigation, power windows, air conditioning. But back in 1957, when this Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz was new, there was a big difference between an inexpensive car and the top of the line. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was the top of the line. Biarritz, of course, is a town in the south of France, on the Côte d'Azur. It is a place known for leisure and relaxation and luxury. And what more appropriate name for this convertible, which promises all of those and more. It's also astonishing to think of the specification of this car. This big, powerful V8 engine, of course power steering, the brake pedal that proudly proclaims power brakes, the Autronic Eye automatic headlight dimmer, power windows. It says everything except air conditioning, but air conditioning in convertibles in 1957 was still not that common a thing. After all, you could put this top down and have all the fresh air you needed. But it's also just in the way this car rides, its presence. There is such a difference between this and the lowest step on the GM ladder of brands, the Chevrolet. A 1957 Chevrolet convertible is a very nice car. But compared to this, it's like comparing a nice country log cabin on a mountain to one of the Gilded Age mansions in Newport. This is a car that reminds you what you spent on it. All $7,200 $1957 on this car, and you can tell that there was a reason why people in show business, in whatever field you're in, when you had arrived, you bought a Cadillac. It just made a statement about you and who you were and what you've accomplished. I just feel a bit more special driving this car just along a country road. And of course, a country road is not this car's natural habitat. Unless you're heading towards your estate for the weekend, of course. Another major point about this car is what it represents in terms of the world of cars. In 1957, American cars still stood at the top of the heap. If you watch French and Italian movies of the period, big shots always drove Cadillacs. I'll never forget the impression of the 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz made in La Dolce Vita. This is indeed La Dolce Vita all'Americana. Just the chrome, the leather. And I love the fact that this car is black on black on black. which really makes it look slightly sinister. It's Batman's everyday car. This is an amazing piece of Americana, and something that I think anyone who has the opportunity to experience must. This is the car that you don't so much feel the road as float over it, as if you're in not on a cloud, but in a cloud. And not a silver cloud either. The 1957 Silver Cloud Rolls-Royce couldn't hold a candle to this car in terms of comfort, power. This is the absolute pinnacle of Cadillac perfection in the 1950s. Now, of course, there's also bears to mind that that GM and Ford were locked in a very tight battle for the ultimate luxury at this time, with Ford having introduced the Continental Mark II and GM having responded with the Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, their very limited production four-door sedan. But this Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz, I hate to say it, has it all over any Lincoln convertible at the time. Any 57 Lincoln convertible cannot match this car. This is truly the standard of the world.